Hi everyone, today we're going to start looking at classes. In classes we're going to be looking at when and when not to use them. So here we go. So over here you can see another program. At the top as usual is what we're going to do today, then the rules, and lastly the program. So today we'll be looking at classes. So classes and when not to use them. So classes need 2 line breaks after they're written. So here I have a class and I need to put 2 line breaks. So I've got line number 17 and line number 16 free. And if I take one away, then it'll throw an error. Expected 2 blank lines after class or function definition, found 1. If I put none at all, then it will just say found 0. So that's why we need 2 line breaks. But if I put too many, obviously that's also not good. So it says too many line breaks. So 2 is a good number of line breaks to have after writing a class. Classes make things more organized. So when do you use classes? You use classes when you see hierarchies. Hierarchies is a pyramid structure in which the most important thing and the smallest thing is on the top. So for example, in an apartment complex, the apartment would be on the very top. So apartment would be at the very top, and that's the smallest thing. Then inside the apartment we've got towers. So that's a bit bigger. So what I mean by bigger and smaller, obviously apartment's the biggest, but there's only one apartment. Meanwhile, there can be, say, 6 towers. And after that, there's floors. Floors is a bit bigger than, there are more number of floors than towers. So it's considered a bit bigger. And then flats, or houses. And there are obviously more houses than floors. So flats go at the very end. So that's a hierarchy system. At the top it's the smallest number of things, then towers, then floors, then flats. That's in an apartment. So we can just get rid of that. Right. So when you see hierarchies, using classes can make the code more organized. There can be less duplicates and more reusable code. So reusable code, so you can just keep reusing that piece of code and there will be less duplicates, so you won't keep rewriting the same piece of code over and over again. When do you not use classes? For example, if you're writing an addition program to add a few numbers, so if you're writing an addition program and the user can add as many numbers as you want, so say 5, then it would not make a lot of sense to use a class. For example, if you're in a classroom, so say you're at a school and in your class you're the only person. That does not make a lot of sense for the school, because one teacher and one student, that makes no sense, as one teacher can teach more than one student at the same time. So that would be putting that one addition program inside a class, or even using a class for an addition program, makes no sense, because it's like putting one student in a class. So basically, when there's only one function, then you don't put it in a class. You also don't print stuff in a class, so that's basically when you don't use classes. So here I've set class num, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 6, and z is equal to 8. Then I've set number equal to num, print number.z. So here I've said number is the class, then number.z. So I'll just comment this one. So when I run it, it says 8, and z is equal to 8. But there can be a shorter way of doing this, using only just one print statement. You won't need this line. So a simpler way of doing it, and shorter way, it's print num.z. So when I run it, 8. And I only used one line, but I'm getting the same result. So I would much rather prefer this way than this one, as coding is all about less writing and more coding. We can also try putting a string in here and seeing what happens. So if I say a is equal to 9, so I just spelled it out. So, oh, I forgot to write. Now I'll print it and 9. So I just put in a string.